How you doing, Scotty Bear? Back with another video. Today is day 30 in Southeast Asia here, specifically the Philippines. A lot of questions, and I figured I'd take this time, the 30th day, to talk a little bit about it, talk about the expenses. People want to know about the cost of living, the cost that took me to get here, and my location where I'm at. I'm not in Makati. I feel like many people kind of go to Makati because they feel like it is the place to go in Manila, which there are many nice places to go in Manila. Ortigas, Makati, BGC, Rockwell. I mean, there's many places that you can spend your time while you're here. I tend to feel like Clark in Angeles City is a great place to spend your time. One is or my reason behind that rather is if you're not working in Makati, which is known as the financial district here in Manila, really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to pay the actual money. The main reason why the costs are so high there is the location. The traffic is very heavy in Makati, in Manila in general. It takes a good amount of time to go anywhere, and I would say doesn't give you the chance to really get a good experience while you're here. Again, there are many great places to go just outside of Manila, maybe even considered Manila, and you can spend your time and probably have at least a little bit better experience and a little more affordable experience. That being said, that's kind of why I chose where I'm staying. Maybe the downside is that the place where I'm at doesn't have the same things within walking distance. However, I did, prep most of my meals here, and simply didn't go out a whole lot. However, when we did go out, we were able to go to some nice places. That being said, people ask me about restrictions and how it is around the area. The way I felt like it is there are some restrictions in the area that has kind of limited availability. A good example of this is I ordered a Grab last night for some coffee, and the same places that were open when I had been in Manila before, Manila being a place of things being open late because the weather's nice and because a good amount of the population work remotely, are simply not open as late, and so the availability on some of that is not great. The other part of that is we were sitting in a coffee shop working, and the place closed up at 9 o'clock. So I was comfortable working, and abruptly they closed, even though online it seemed to indicate that they were open until 10 or 11, and that was a bit of a letdown. Also, we wanted to have a late night dinner, and the restaurant was closing up. And again, these are the type of experiences that I've had while I'm here, and I am looking forward to going to the next destination. One is, the area, and two, not so much traffic. And three, even I'm staying in a rather cheap place right now, a two-bedroom apartment rather, for $425. I will get into a one-bedroom apartment for about $225 a month. I believe Southeast Asia is really going to become a destination for people looking for affordability in the United States. Many people are looking at this. You can move here and live here for a very reasonable amount of money. I wouldn't say I'm living here or have moved here per se, but I am living here to try to save money monthly. That being said, the first month being here, I mean, I really had to put up a good amount of money for airline tickets, PCR tests, visa extension. The visa extension only allowed me to extend my visa for a month, where past times where I was in the Philippines, I could extend for multi-months in a single shot. However, it was a lot quicker than it had been to get my visa extended. It was only a couple minutes in and out, versus I think it was about an hour, and then I actually had to come back and pick up my my passport at another date, and they would text me and say it was ready. That being said, the cost that I've experienced have only been a little higher. I mean, some of the nice restaurants that we've eaten at has been cheaper than maybe what I would have to pay, like living in El Paso in my apartment for Chipotle. Burritos, $12-15. Wonderful meals and stuff here for two people to eat for under $20, which has been a pretty good value. Again, most of what I've eaten here has been prepared at home. I mean, that was really the game plan. Like I said, my goal really has been to lower my costs while all this inflation stuff is going on. Them raising my rent there in Texas and stuff. I've been searching to save money. Mexico, because of people being driven south, the cost was rising there, so I figured I would come over here. Being familiar with Asia, I mean, I spent a good amount of time in Asia before the pandemic, so I was familiar, and I knew I could save some money if I could get over here, and they would ease the restriction. That being said, I guess as a whole, I mean, this first month I haven't realized a lot of the savings. One, mainly because just arriving, so I had to buy a few extra things like more comfortable pillows, a couple coffee makers, broke the carafe on one, so I had to buy another one. The second one wasn't that great, so I bought one at Starbucks. Airline tickets, visa extensions, different things like this really, again, made it difficult for me to really realize the savings. However, the bottom line was, even the time I was in Mexico, where I was paying about $600 a month, I probably was pretty close to that the first time, excluding the additional airline tickets and visa extension, where 6 months visa in Mexico, I believe I spent about $25. So, and for 1 month extension here, I believe it was about 2,600 pesos, which is about $50, which again, I'll have to go in there and do that again. Let's see what else. It has been a little rough. I'm not trying to paint some negative picture. People say that they feel I'm a little negative. I'm not negative. I would say that it is very real. it has been hard to sleep the same way in the United States. I feel like maybe I'm sleeping like these split shifts where I try to do my best to stay awake as late as possible to be available for my clients in the United States. But once it hits about 3, 4, or 5 in the morning, oftentimes I will go in there and take a nap till local time here in Manila is about 6 a.m. Get back up, which would be 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. in New York, rather 3 in the afternoon in Los Angeles time, and try to work some additional hours, and then again go back to sleep till the maybe mid-afternoon, and wake up again trying to do some more work, eat, and go back to sleep in the afternoon to wake up about 9 o'clock p.m., which would be, of course, 9 a.m. New York time, to do it all over again. So it has been a little rough in that regards. The time for this 30 days has been breakneck, to say the least. Arriving, jet lag. I feel like I've got the jet lag behind me, but yet I still haven't had a very good sleep pattern. Maybe the next place will be a little easier, but I'm looking forward to getting out and doing a little more walking, and I believe that the next destination will be a little better for that type of thing. Manila's been fun. I've enjoyed my time here. My reaction has been the city seems a little more cleaned up than what I remember. I used to feel like I go outside, I would, smell a lot of, trash and stuff like that. I don't feel like that has been as much of the case this time. Traffic maybe was, a little worse before, I feel like. Again, what I remember before versus this time, could be a little bit different. I do feel like during the time I've been here, when I first arrived, of course, there was foreigners arriving, and of course, I feel like a lot of Filipinos returning home to visit family because the restriction had been lifted at that point about 45 days. And so I do feel like the meat of the travel is Filipinos returning home to visit family after not being able to see them for multiple Christmases. That's right, Christmas being a big deal here in the Philippines. So I feel like that's the most of the travelers are coming in. However, Malaysia has recently dropped the PCR test, and I don't know if the Philippines has the same plan in mind. There is, from what we can tell, there is no PCR test for domestic travel here locally. So I believe that I won't have to take another PCR test. The good news is that if, of course, Malaysia doesn't have a PCR test when I have to exit inside of the 180 days, I believe, that at least I won't have to, up the monies for that. That being said, I will probably not have to worry about that here for at least a couple months. That'll be nice. I am a little, like I said, a little wore out from traveling. It has been difficult from a remote working perspective. It has been just a little tough. Internet signals, getting settled. I work at my desk here, work at the table, work sitting on the couch, work sitting in bed. I mean, offer me a lot of different working positions to kind of change it up. I do miss being able to work at different places around town. The pandemic really has changed that. I wonder if some of that will return. Even some of the places that I really enjoyed working at in the past, visiting them again. The plugins were gone and stuff. Really, it seems like some of these places has made attempts to really block that type of thing. There was another place also locally in Manila where it was open 24 hours. Co-working center, internet center, all seem to be closed currently, which again, like I said, is I wasn't really expecting. It's kind of nice to go in there and work because you're not at home and battling whether to go lay down, and there's lots of people around to kind of talk to and stuff, and there's serving coffee and food in there, and it's kind of a nice environment. You get to meet a lot of different people, so that part is kind of cool. So I do miss that. There was a lot of that in Bangkok as well. So we'll see what happens here in the short term. If some of that will make be open again. Like I said, they are in some sort of situation where the openness certainly does not exist the same way. The other thing that I did find that there has been a lot of shuffling with restaurants and stuff during the pandemic. The restaurants that didn't make it and failed, the other bigger restaurants have kind of gobbled up those locations and moved there. Notably, one of the places I like to visit, a hummus place. If you're unaware, I believe it was 95. Greece, the economy in Greece kind of collapsed. I believe they missed a $1.6 billion payment to the IMF. And basically the economy collapsed. The people that could relocated, the Greek people relocated here to Manila, which brought on a lot of amazing Greek food, notably hummus, and has been flat out amazing. There is a lot of great Mediterranean food, and which is very nice. I enjoy that. And of course, my point being that that restaurant moved to a new location. Another restaurant that we enjoy also had moved to a different location. They survived, but there seemed to be a bit of a shuffle where the failing restaurant that didn't make it, other restaurants took over their location, then the restaurant took over their location, and so things weren't quite the same as I remember. And on Google Maps, I was like, oh, we're going there, and then boom, they weren't there. There was a different restaurant there, and they say, oh, they moved over down the street. Anyway, you get the idea. But I'm excited about the next location. It will be a place that I have not been before, and that part is cool. I am a little nervous too. Traveling over in Asia, I'm really feeling settled about it. It's not quite Mexico. I'm always used to Mexico, where you just cruise over the border. It's just a few minutes and they check your passport. Going through these Asian countries and stuff, I'm always a little bit nervous. I mean, I have been stopped from traveling. One incident I had in Bangkok, literally they were like, you're not flying, and here I had all these travel arrangements, and it was a little unnerving, and something that I wasn't used to, and I'm always nervous that something like that is going to happen, especially when I make a lot of plans going to a new place. I'm always not sure, and that's not fun. But nonetheless, I am very excited, and gonna share more videos about my experience, including a tour through my temporary home here. Not to be all touchy and feely, but when you go around these places and make them your home for 30 days, it's kind of interesting, right? It's home for a month or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just don't know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It is about 1:30 in the afternoon. Just woke up about 20 minutes ago. Decided I'd make this video, and then I'm gonna shoot the tour video of the apartment. Hope you enjoyed. I'll just see you on the next one.